Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm going to get right into the stock market charts. We've got some movement this morning, so I want to point out key levels to watch for in these trade ideas that we pointed out. So if you guys are new and you're interested in trade setups and trade ideas, using technical analysis in the charts, I don't tell you about what's happened, or at the end of the day, I don't even usually question. I read the charts and we make decisions based on what the charts tell us, and then we manage our risk. A lot of other YouTube channels out there, they kind of give you questions. Is the market going to rally? Or is oil going to sell off? And ultimately, they're just kind of pandering to indecision, basically, and that doesn't help anybody make money. We do have to make a decision at the end of the day when we're looking to initiate trades, and then we just manage our risk. Okay, so that's key. Take trades with low or with a high risk reward, kind of high reward, low risk ratio. And then position sizing is important. So if you guys are interested in learning this as a skill set, check out my stock market technical analysis course. I put that together a couple years ago. I priced it appropriately, so it's a really good value, I believe. Check that out. Link in the description below. All right, guys, moving on. We're going to start out with triple Q. So if anybody's been following me over the last few days, I've really been looking for a tech rally and for oil to sell off. So oil stocks down, tech up has really been the theme that I'm basing everything on because I see it in the chart. So let's start off here with triple Qs. We'll see here today gapping down, but the buyers are stepping right back in, and we're moving higher. So Q's up 1%. Looking at the hourly chart here, we now have this potential trend line to watch. I can kind of mark it out, something like that, basically. And we basically are continuing to move higher in an uptrend. So I do think we're going higher. We have a gap to fill on Qs right up here at 288.54. So I could see us getting there today. And then we have another gap up here at 299.39. So those are the two levels to watch right now. There's your gap 1, gap 2. So maybe it'll do something like this, hit the gap, come down to the trend line, fill the other gap, pull back a little bit. But at the end of the day, it does look like we are working ourselves higher in an uptrend. Again, we have the bullish divergence that has been in play on both momentum indicators at the recent lows. So the low down here was a divergent low, and that is our, that's our setup. All right, that was our setup for a long trade. All right, moving on. Higher prices likely in the near term, but this is a bear market rally. So I'm looking for something that maybe lasts weeks to months, maybe a month or two, as we rally. You'll hear the media start to taper down. They'll say, okay, the worst is over, inflation's coming down, everything's starting to get back to normal. That's how it should feel. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a bear market rally where the sentiment gets back to starts to lean bullish again. And then we'll look for the next leg lower in an ongoing larger picture bear market. But bear markets play out over the period of years. They don't just crash and then recover with a V bottom. They take years to play out. And there's several, sustainable bear market rallies within a larger bear market. So that's the theme I'm going on. Let's look at some of these individual stocks I pointed out. ROKU, okay, up 5% today. Yesterday was the buy signal. Today, confirmation, more buying. So all looks good in the ROKU land. We've got some near-term resistance here at 98, so probably get a little pullback there, chop around. But at the end of the day, I can see ROKU heading up to some of these higher resistance levels. 139.20, there's another level at 169, and the 200 days up there. So somewhere up there would be where I believe ROKU is going to go. Maybe the 200 comes down. Okay, sorry about that. Had a phone call. So again, I'm not exactly sure where I left off, but the point being, ROKU had a buy signal yesterday. ROKU has bullish divergence that has been building. ROKU has a bullish falling wedge pattern. It's pretty much everything you need to take a trade, at least in my opinion. And I did that yesterday, went long yesterday. So far, really from the breakout, when it looked pretty good yesterday, and I figured that this breakout would be the one that sticks because we already had a false breakout right up here. So you can see it popped up, broke out, and then failed. That was a bear or a bull trap, but usually when you get one of those, the second time is usually the real deal. And there it is. So Doesn't have to stick, but so far it looks good, and we're up, 7-8% or so from at least my entry point. If you waited till the end of the day or didn't see this video till later in the day, maybe you're up, 6%, 6.5% as of right now. Okay, so there's some key resistance levels, and we'll move on. Very similar one, Carvana. Now again, don't fall in love with these stocks. There's nothing to do. Fundamentally, we don't really care. We look at the technicals and we take the trades based on those. Bullish falling wedge pattern on the daily chart. Bullish divergence on the momentum indicators. Both momentum indicators there. And breakout yesterday, they sold it down, but it still managed to close as a breakout. So that, and that's an impulsive breakout. Even though it sold down, it gapped up from the day before. So it was up 2% and much higher throughout the day. Today, buyers are stepping in, bidding it up, nothing but bid. So it looks like we're going higher. I can see this one getting up. First level of resistance, I don't see till about 34.13. Okay, there's a level there, so you'll probably get a pullback up there. Next level up here at 44.53. And then we also have this downtrend line to watch on Carvana coming off kind of the highs, not quite the highs, but there's a downtrend line to watch. So if we're going to rally over the next coming weeks to months, maybe it'll look something like this. You hit, get a little pullback, hit, get a pullback, chop around, and then, kind of grind your way up and hit this trend line over, the next week, couple weeks to months. So that's the potential. I like it right now. I am long this one. Okay, moving into oil. So some of these oil stocks I pointed out, XOM. Yesterday was a short right here at resistance, which was 91.60, 91.60. We gapped down today. So the way I typically treat this, because we have a recent low to watch, 86.05, you need to take out those lows to get the next sell signal, but you can short it at resistance. And I covered my short this morning just with the gap down, and also seeing that the market looks like it wants to rally. Oil might kind of hang in here. I think oil will continue to work its way lower. But for me, getting it right here at resistance, gapping down close enough, I'll look for these lows right here to get taken out before reshorting this one. So a quick, for this one, it was a quick, 4.5% in one day. I'll take it, and we'll look to I'll just keep watching this. At the end of the day, I think oil stocks do head lower here, in the near term, but you might kind of hang in there for a little bit. We'll see. Just with the markets looking like they want to rally, people might rush in and buy some oil stocks over the next few days as well. I would just wait for these lows to get taken out. 86.15. You see those get taken out, you should head lower. And XOM, big oil refiner, ExxonMobil, should move down to the 200-day moving average. That's kind of what I would suspect in terms of a kind of a maximum drop down there at the 200. Gold bullion, more sideways chop. We're holding support right here. We've just been chopping sideways really since about May 10th. So almost 2 months, not quite, but almost 2 months of sideways chop. Nothing really to point out, just waiting for these to take off. Someone asked me if I'm out of this PANW short, and I am. A couple things, I was trading this based on this bear flag here. Right here's your flag pull, then you flagged out. You did break to the downside, so it should continue impulsively to continue the flag down to this final target of 375, 374.55 or so. Not the kind of price action you really want to see for the continuation of this bear flag to break down and then hold, and we're kind of bouncing. It's not completely negated, but you really should fail here. So if you don't fail here, I would suspect that this is not going to play out, this bear flag, and we could see a continued rally. So little hesitant on that one. I covered the short back a couple days ago when I was looking at going long. I don't typically go long. This is a tech stock, so I'm not going to go long triple Qs and then stay short some of my tech stocks. It just doesn't. It's a kind of crossing your wires on your trade. So looking at, again, we'll just watch these tech stocks, see if they're going to continue to rally, but so far everything looks okay. Potential long setup here, Ford. So on Ford, it's been selling off pretty nicely. We're coming into some decent support, right? About 111.12. So potential for a bounce here. And, you know, basically as I zoom in, you can see we've got bullish divergence right there on the RSI and the PPO, and we're holding this support. So it is in a zone where you could get a bounce, and the resistance level I would say is up here about 1335, right in there. If we're going to break down, I have to go to the weekly chart to show you kind of the big level. So on Ford, you've been in this big downtrend line right here, and that's now changed to a uptrend. We could come all the way down to that trend line over, you know, it's going to take a little while. So I don't think that's going to happen and just a drop straight down there. I could easily see us holding here, bouncing up to the 200, or at least that at a minimum, that level up around 1335, and then failing and rolling down and hitting that big support down there. So I definitely want to be a buyer down there. But yeah, we could bounce here. So just this trade setup, it's nothing that's super aggressive, but it does look like a potential bounce. That's really all I have for this morning. I'm going to get the video out, guys. Drop me a thumbs up on your way out. I appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one.